And now I'm recording.
Yeah, after that joke.
Get it out of your system.
All right, looks like I'm reading all good. I'm reading at a 4th grade level.
Which is good.
It is good. Where I grew up, that's top tier.
You gotta stop reading the Arthur illustrated books and move over to the Arthur chapter books. Big doings.
You've stopped reading the Matt Christopher sports novels, of which I read probably 50 as a kid.
I don't think I've read any of those. I don't even know if we had those.
So Matt Christopher is just the Stephen King of elementary level sports stories. Okay.
Yes. And I can't even remember a single one if you asked me to. There was another one where it was like a time...
He's the Agatha Christie of...
Of what? What, Andrew? Oh, he's probably talking, but we can't hear him.
That felt like a good diss.
He is... What were the other ones? There were other ones where it was time travel, and you could time travel into a baseball card. And like go back and like, oh, I'm talking with Shoeless Joe Jackson. Oh, turns out that he wasn't fucking cheater. Dan Gutman. Yep. Honus and me, Mickey and me, Shoeless Joe and me, Babe and me, Satch and me, Roberto and me, Abner and me.
Oh, Roberto Clemente.
Roberto Clemente, that's my favorite player.
Aw.
Of all time.
Oh wait, you can hear me now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, what I was saying before is that this guy sounds like he's the Agatha Christie of sports novels.
I wouldn't call them novels. They're
novellas.
They were more pamphlets. Matt Christopher. The Lucky Baseball Bat. Oh, I remember the Home Run Kid. Hold on. Now they're coming back. Now they're coming back to me. Sylvester. Yeah, there was this guy named Chico who was like his coach and taught him how to like hit home runs. But then Chico was like one of the Chicago Black Sox who was like a ghost. I don't remember how he came into the present day. But yeah, he was one of the cheaters. For some reason, a lot of those children's baseball novels revolved around the not Chicago Black Sox. Actually, was it the Black? Who were the Black Sox? Were they in Chicago then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they weren't.
They were the Chicago White Sox.
Yeah, they weren't actually called the Black Sox.
So somehow the members of the 1919 Chicago White Sox team came up a lot in children's baseball literature. I don't know if it was just to like teach kids about morality and like don't cheat in sports. I don't know. But they were around in multiple different sagas.
With a couple of notable exceptions, I would say the Chicago White Sox are a pretty inoffensive baseball team.
Well, no. So the 1919 Chicago White Sox were famous for throwing the World Series because of the mob. Yeah, the mafia bought them.
That would be
through the series. So it is pretty offensive.
That and Disco Demolition are the two black marks on their history.
Sure, that was another classic. But yeah, and then the whole plot of Shoeless Joe and Me is that like the kid learns that Shoeless Joe wasn't actually in on the scheme. And he was he had a black mark on his name, which is possible.
I mean, yeah, sure, but then the moral of that story isn't don't cheat. The moral of the story is get away with it.
Well, so Shoeless Joe Jackson hit like 450 in that World Series, which if you're a baseball fan, that is insane. That is he was far and away the best player of the series. So it would be weird if he was on the take and then proceeded to be the best player. He wasn't exactly doing his job right.
He's like, nah, man, he would have been hitting like 820.
Yeah, and he definitely denied it until he died. So it would be kind of sad if he got banned from the sport and he didn't deserve it. But we'll never know.
I can't wait for Trump to come out randomly and say like, hey, you know, we got to get Shoeless Joe Jackson back in baseball.
They exhume his grave just so that he can play baseball again.
Okay, there's a movie here, like reviving
Joe
history's
Jackson.
greatest baseball players.
His name gets cleared, but on some sort of weird technicality where he has to hit another ball.
What the fuck?
And so they have to teach this corpse to hit a fucking baseball.
The rule book doesn't say anything about letting zombies play.
Yep. In 2015, the Shoeless Joe Jackson Museum formally petitioned Commissioner Rob Manfred for reinstatement. So there are people still fighting to try to get him back in baseball.
To which Rob Manfred said, "Fuck no, I'm just going to allow the Astros to keep their trophy."
The Astros players, they don't need any suspensions.
Oh my god, are we finally going to talk about this?
But Shoeless Joe, fuck that guy.
Yeah, he quote-unquote threw a game while still hitting over 400.
Yeah.
These guys, who have been fucking proven to have been literally the worst case of cheating in sports that I can think of in terms of...
Wow. No.
Well, I mean, in terms of, like, actually eliminating a competitive advantage...
No.
I mean...
You're not a big baseball fan if you think that...
I mean...
That's not even the worst thing to happen to baseball in the last 20 years, man. Think of the sport you're talking about, my guy.
Yeah.
80% of the players were probably on steroids 15 years ago.
That's... Okay, steroids improve your performance, sure. But it doesn't completely eliminate the other team's ability to, I don't know, play the fucking game.
What?
You know...
Are steroids bad for the game? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. But using signals to like let the hitter know what the fuck the pitcher is going to throw is on a different level, and you cannot convince me otherwise. I'm going to leave it at that. Like you will not be able to convince me that taking steroids is a worse way of cheating than stealing the other team's signs.
Every single team in
know.
baseball is stealing signs. I'm telling you.
Not every single team.
Yes, every single team in baseball is stealing signs. The Houston Astros took it to another level and used video to better decode the signs. But I promise you, all 30 teams are stealing signs. I'm sure. Every single pitcher in the bullpen is breaking down their signals, and they are doing the exact same thing. But the Astros took it.
But that's
to
not the
level.
same thing. That's the that's the difference between counting cards and loading a deck.
It's similar. I don't think that analogy is completely inaccurate.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that it is a natural... I've already had this discussion with Ian a million times. It is a natural extension of the thing that everyone does, whereas stuffing a deck is not a natural extension of counting cards. Using a computer to keep track of the cards is a natural extension of counting cards.
But there's nothing natural about it. That's like saying that...
Yes, there is.
Oh, yeah, from steroids, the natural extension would be taking the Captain America serum.
So, what if... Okay, how about this? The smartest mathematician in all of the world gets signed to a 30-day contract for a team, and the only job that they do is to break down the signals and try to figure out what the pitches are. Is that a natural extension? Because that's the same thing.
But part of hitting, being at bat, is trying to figure out what the pitcher is going to do. Like, you do that with your eyes and by experience, like being up at bat.
No. Not generally.
Oh my god.
I mean, I've played baseball my entire life. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
You played baseball in high school.
Literally my entire life. Like,
okay.
I was 6 years old until I was 18. So yeah.
All right.
And it was my favorite sport, and I watched it.
So did you just swing the bat and say, okay, maybe this will hit something?
The minute the ball, or the split second the ball leaves the pitcher's hand, you know what pitch it is. That's not the problem. The problem is reacting to the pitch properly. Like you can tell by the way that it leaves his hand, based on the spin, immediately what pitch it is. The question is whether or not it's going to be in the strike zone and whether you should swing at it. That's the problem.
But if you know what that pitch is going to be before they throw it, then you get to react.
I'm not arguing that it's not a competitive advantage. I'm just arguing that it's not quite as severe as you might think. Of course that's a competitive advantage. Of course shooting pig's semen into your veins to make your muscles 40% larger is a competitive advantage. Like,
Jesus
what?
Christ.
I don't know. There's been some fucking crazy cheating in the history of baseball. And
I still don't think that steroids are as big of a competitive advantage as people say. Yes, you can hit the ball harder. You can swing or run faster.
Yes, you can be better at everything.
But you still have to hit the fucking ball.
You still have to hit the
whole
fucking
point.
ball with the pitch. Like, when you know what pitch is coming. You still have to hit it.
Yeah, but if you know what pitch is coming...
Andrew, if you knew what pitch was coming, do you think you could hit off these MLB pitchers?
Of course
Because
not. Of course
close.
I couldn't. These guys are professionals.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You still have to hit the ball, just like steroids.
So you're saying it doesn't matter because they're already getting paid for it?
What? That's what you said. You said because they're professionals.
No, I said they're professionals.
Yes.
Like, that's different. Of course I couldn't fucking hit
Yeah,
the
but that's
ball.
what I'm saying. You still have to hit the ball, just like steroids. Like, you still have to hit it. Just because you know what pitch is coming doesn't mean it's easy to hit. Like I said, you know the pitch the split second it leaves his hand. Of course, it makes it slightly easier. It also makes it slightly easier when your bat speed is 40% faster. Like, what?
It's not 40%.
It absolutely
faster.
is. Yes.
No way.
They have literally analyzed this. Swing speed has gone up like 20 miles an hour from the 80s from the 80s to the peak of the steroid era. Like, swing speed was a very...
I thought the 80s was the peak of the steroid era.
No,
buddy.
No. Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa are the kings of the steroid era.
Yeah, but they weren't even human.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's a pretty massive cheating scandal.
That was taking... Yeah, and they got, like, the fucking asterisk put there.
Yeah, and so will the Astros.
That's taking the Captain America serum.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. They were cheating.
But that's a completely different level.
Okay, so then there you go. How about Sammy Sosa and Barry Bonds? Their cheating scandal was as big, if not bigger, than the Astros one. I'm not talking about just general steroid use. How about specific people that clearly became different human beings because of how many drugs they injected
That
into
is
their
a big
body.
scandal. I still think that the whole team doing it with the technology that was involved is a bigger deal, especially since they used that to then completely fuck the whole season and win the World Series.
Mm-hmm. Well,
like, God.
Every team is stealing signs. Someone somewhere along the line with flimsy morals, let's just put it, went like, hey, we could get much better at this if we just use this system. And so then they instituted it. And then it became a thing. Like, it's easy to see how it happened. It's not like some whack job who was like, hey man, want to win the World Series? Like, let's institute this crazy scheme that no one's ever thought of before. Like, I don't know. It to me, it's less egregious because of that. Because, like I said,
I disagree.
doing it.
I disagree.
Yeah. Well,
I like how the opening point in our planning doc is giving me shit, and I've come out totally unscathed so far.
Fuck you, Lucas. You're cheating on the podcast.
There it is. Give it to me. Also, because we were talking about children's books briefly, just want to circle back for a sec and say, fuck the Magic Treehouse books.
wow.
Overrated.
That is harsh.
I read the Magic Treehouse.
Me too.
books for
Overrated.
at least a little bit. They're pretty good. Or they were.
Yeah, I don't know if they were
as
good.
a child.
Were they good?
I mean, I'm sure they aren't actually good, but I mean, I enjoyed them as a fucking elementary schooler.
What was my last Magic Treehouse book? That's actually going to make me kind of sad, I feel like. Oh. No, I already kind of don't remember some of these. Night of the Ninjas, I remember. I thought that one was kind of fucked up. There was one where they were on a moon base. I remember that. That was crazy.
I do not remember the fucking moon base.
Civil War Sunday, earthquake in the early morning.
I feel like I definitely did not read all of these. Oh wait, these are out of order, so I have no idea.
Oh, that was oh boy, that was book number 8. Where they went to the moon. Boy, they pulled that moon card pretty quickly, I feel like. Like they were like,
wait, what?
Yeah, they were like,
that was number 8.
They were like dinosaurs, knights, mummies, the moon. Like, holy shit.
What the fuck?
That was quite the stretch. You went to the moon almost immediately. They had endless material, and they had to bail on it pretty fast.
You can only jump the shark so many times.
I feel like every book was jumping the shark, right?
I mean, there was one where...
I mean,
go ahead.
They fucking went into books and, like, saw the Chicago fire, and I don't know. There was some weird save the world shit in there later on. I just don't remember what the fuck was happening.
We need to just start a book club. Do you guys remember the Alex Rider series?
Yeah. Oh shit! I never finished.
Me neither. It's kind of sad, actually. He got shot.
I think there was like
in one of the last books I read. He got shot, and it sounded like he was gonna die.
Oh, he didn't.
Oh. Well, I mean, I assumed he didn't die.
I'm sorry, the character or the author?
Alex Rider.
Okay.
The character gets shot.
the author got shot. Anthony Horowitz got fucking murdered.
As he was writing, and it just went like his writing trailed off. No, the character
They just found his manuscript on the streets of Liverpool covered in blood.
The character got shot, and then he what's it called? Was basically bleeding out, and everything went dark, and that was, I think, the last book I ever read of the series. So I haven't been living my life as though he died, because I assumed that he was going to live, but it's kind of a dark ending for me to never read again.
I want to find a Spark Notes for the other books that I did not read to kind of figure out what the fuck happened.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I think I read 2 books after that. Oh, weird tie-in.
There's a movie.
The book.
Yeah.
There's
a movie coming out.
Don't fucking watch that.
Why not?
Dude, it's bad.
Oh, you've seen it?
I've seen parts of it.
Wait, when did it come out?
The whole movie. It would have been right around the time that we would have been reading the books.
2008?
No, not this one.
No,
there's one from Sony that the trailer dropped in January.
Oh, wait. They rebooted it?
I don't know. Was there a 2008 one? I don't see a 2008 one.
I think there was a made-for-TV movie or something.
Yeah, a film expected to release in 2020.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, there was a there's a film called Stormbreaker in 2006.
Oh, and that was the first book.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there is now a new one, 2020. It's going to be crazy. There was a book in 2019 called Secret Weapon, by the way. So you'd have to read up until modern times.
Oh, God.
Fuck. I thought there was 2 books left.
This is creepy. He based it on a teenage equivalent of James Bond. The first line of physical appearance is, Alex Rider is described as a strikingly attractive 14-year-old boy. That's not great.
We were going to hit this eventually. I knew it when we started this conversation. We're playing it too close to our childhoods. We can't keep going back to this well. And then... Fuck.
Well, that's our childhood. Gone forever.
So I read the first 9.
Oh.
Which is, I feel too far. But the book immediately after the one where he gets shot, Ryan, the end of your Alex Rider universe, he straight up goes to the fucking International Space Station.
Oh, so jumped the shark a little. It was pretty grounded, as I remember, up until that point.
Yeah, it was. It was.
So maybe I did jump off at the right time then.
Yeah.
Wow. Perfect timing.
I remember that. I'm looking at the books now. Scorpia, book number 6, where he gets shot. That was a good one, and that was the last good one that I read.
There you go.
I read 3 more that were not good, and then I just stopped.
Was he a stuntman, or is that a different young adult novel that I'm mixing up with?
I think that was a different one.
There was one where there's a stuntman. Ah, fuck. No. This happens to me a lot. I read a lot in middle school. You guys don't understand. I think we talked about this with Ace Reader and shit.
Yeah, we all were big readers.
There's one. So he he was a stuntman in a movie, and then the main actor gets hurt or something and isn't allowed, can't act anymore. So then he has to act, and he becomes a super famous actor. Oh, damn it!
I do not know what that
And then
is.
at one point his horse dies, and then he uses it for a scene, and he's like, "Why'd you have to
What?
die on me?" And like it was like the scene where his girlfriend dies or something, but then it turned into it was about his horse. I don't know. I don't know how to find this, guys. I think this already happened once with the one weird book with the dormant virus that was like caused you to be paralyzed, and then what's it called? Like they would do autopsies on you, but you'd be like alive but frozen because of the virus.
I think Ryan is just describing his nightmares as a kid that he convinced himself.
Bro, this
were just
shit was
books.
real. I promise. And I will spend the rest of the podcast finding it. So someone intro the podcast.
Yeah, Lucas, take it away, you cheating bastard.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 86 of the Voluntary Viewing podcast. On this spectacular episode, we have a man desperately in need of an inception, Ryan Holtz.
Someone remove all these terrible things from my head. They're telling me to do bad things. No.
Oh my god.
Also on the podcast today, we have a man who may not be 14, but he is strikingly handsome, Andrew Clark.
Hey, I'm the pretty boy of the podcast. That's all I bring to the table. We got the entertainment man, we got the nerd man, and we got the pretty boy.
The face.
Ryan's that nerdy.
Hey.
Also, congratulations, Andrew. You are the face of an audio podcast. Clap,
yeah,
clap,
I have
clap.
the face for podcasting. And in this corner, we have a man who could not keep his pod in his pants, Lucas DeRuyter.
We had an arrangement when we started this that it'd be fine if we went off and like did other podcasts. Don't be mad at me just because you guys can't pull any, okay?
It didn't mean anything. I was just at the bar. We were drinking. It just happened. It didn't mean anything.
Am I not allowed to take the meeting? Am I not allowed to talk about doing a project with somebody? Okay. Well,
Mom and Dad are
Oh, we had
fighting, and I don't like it.
I thought this podcast was special, but apparently
Wow.
it
So
wasn't.
Andrew's the scorned
I'm the cuck.
partner.
I'm the cuck.
Lucas is the cheater, and I'm the child trapped between. It's like, why are you guys fighting? And you guys are like,
How am I supposed to explain this to Ryan?
You'll know
it's just going to
someday.
confuse him.
Ryan will tell you someday, but for now, you'll never know.
Andrew's gonna go do a podcast at a motel for a while.
Oh man.
Ryan, meet your new podcast. I don't know, some weed shit probably.
Oh, do I have to choose? Like, you're gonna start a podcast, and Lucas is
No,
gonna start a
we're
podcast.
not gonna make you choose. That wouldn't be.
I'm gonna
fair
have to
you.
go to
We're
court.
just gonna,
Oh, we're gonna do split
just gonna-
custody. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
in Lucas's
you'll-
weird anime podcast, and then in Andrew's weird talk about nothing podcast.
oh god.
It's gonna be great.
Wow.
man.
That is somehow more biting than an anime podcast.
that would actually hurt just a little.
Guys, you don't realize you work together as a pair, but separate. I might not be able to work with either. It's classic.
But Ryan, I thought I saved your life this weekend. You owe me a life debt.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking what?
Nothing.
Oh god.
Well, I'll tell you when you're older, Lucas.
Yeah.
Now you're the podcast baby.
Oh god,
Yay.
we're getting fucking meta and breaking down the dynamics of our relationship. I think we just need to go into news of the week.
Fine, let's do it. Is old and feels comfortable.
Until that old comfortable thing gets canceled, which GDC finally did after all major companies pulled out of it due to coronavirus fears.
Yeah, man.
Damn.
Makes sense.
Right?
Large gatherings are banned in like a lot of countries.
Yeah.
Like we had a what approximates to our all hands meeting this morning, and someone was literally like, "Hey, guess what? If we were in France, this wouldn't be allowed." Like, there's 50 people in this room. That's not allowed.
I can't wait for the conspiracy theories of coronavirus was started by the Chinese government to keep dissidents from protesting. They can't meet up if they all get sick. I don't know.
That I'm pretty sure that's already a theory floating around the tinfoil hat circles, but yeah, my work that I do remotely, not everybody at that place is remote like I am, and they they put out an email the other week saying basically, hey, we know we have a lot of people traveling internationally right now.
Don't come back.
Yeah, like work remotely for a week after you return. Please self-quarantine. Like, that's a rule now, actually.
It makes sense. It's kind of what you got to do. It's just rough.
And, like, I don't know. I'm back and forth on, like, how worried I actually am about coronavirus. I guess, like, on a personal level, I know I don't belong to the demographic that usually suffers when stuff like this happens. But if a lot of people do get sick and businesses have to close and, like, grocery stores and restaurants can't open, that's really going to disrupt daily life in a way that's super scary.
Yeah, man. That's what the show The Leftovers is about, right? Like 2% of the population
what
dies, and then it's like
no, they get
let's
raptured.
It's just like
everything up.
2% or something, right?
Yeah.
I thought in The Leftovers they got raptured.
Okay, sure.
No.
2% of the population disappeared. And
Okay.
It became a mess.
Yeah. All right, what's the cheery thing we're moving on to? Oh boy. We've reached a new level of microtransaction. Dead or Alive 6 will charge players who want to change a character's hair color.
I'm going to get real for a second on this podcast.
Yes.
It's 2020. Why are we still talking about Dead or Alive?
Because they keep pulling dumb shit. Like,
that is a fair response.
like, everybody knows the Dead or Alive brand as the pretty, skeezy, titty fighting game. But now they're the pretty, skeezy, titty fighting game that's also fucking absurd with microtransactions. Which of these things is more damning for you? I don't know. But just reporting. This is a fucking thing that's happening, and probably not going to be too long before other people start pulling this shit. So, bring it on.
Yeah.
Anything in television?
It's kind of a television thing. Probably more of a film thing, but kind of a television thing. Ryan, you might know more about this than I do because I found details scarce. But Bob Iger is no longer the CEO of Disney.
Mm-hmm.
And
so, what happened there?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of, like, theories. The official line is just like, well, I was going to step down in 2021 anyway when my contract was up, so I'm just doing it a little early. Everyone was like, yeah, I don't buy that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, like, random people, or random theories. One that I kind of thought could have some credence to it is that he saw coronavirus starting to spiral and, saw that the company was going to be pretty affected by that sort of thing and was like, oh, what if I just step down now?
Oh.
And completely unblemished. Because if he didn't step down then, he'd probably have to stay on for longer to deal with it,
Mm-hmm.
Like, it might be now or never sort of idea in his head. So that's one that maybe, because, like, Mulan, for example, is opening soon, and that's obviously a big Chinese endeavor, and coronavirus is going to affect that. So that's one of the theories. But it was definitely rushed. There's been multiple reports from inside the company that the other candidates that were seen as possible successors were all, like, informed at the very last second. Like, I can't remember, but there was some sort of premiere that the head of the studio or something, who was one of the possible successors, was at, and he, like, had to cut it short and leave so that he could quick go to a call with the board and everything, and then they announced that it was Bob Chapek or Bob Chapek or whatever his name is. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but yeah, it's a weird one. But he was going to step down anyway.
Yeah.
It was just a weird timing thing.
Really makes me want to know what kind of writing on the wall Disney saw, what Bob Iger saw.
Yeah.
Like,
that is possible.
Is it possible there could have been like a Me Too thing on the fringes building up steam?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I haven't heard any rumors. Usually there's like rumors about powerful male executives. Haven't heard any. He's pretty well liked in the industry.
Right.
And I feel like something like his book dropping would have probably brought some of those claims to light.
Okay.
Because it was very self-congratulatory. So someone would have, probably wanted to correct the narrative if there was anything there.
Yeah, what makes you stop being one of the most powerful people in entertainment a year early? What?
Love.
Aww.
He's getting up there, like it's retirement
Okay.
age. He's allowed to step down when he wants to. He was definitely going to run for president in 2020 until the Fox acquisition became a thing, and then he was like, "Well, I need to stay on to usher us through that." So, no longer. And you could tell that book was going to be his, I'm running for president type book. But eventually he had to shift it because he was not running for president anymore.
Do you think he would have done kind of a, hey, I represent your childhood, vote for me? Or would he have done a thing like, vote for me or I'll kill Bambi's mom again? It's holding the country hostage.
Oh, I think I found it.
I won't let Spider-Man back in the MCU if...
I found the book with the creepy space rock.
Yeah.
What?
Not the book. I could not find the book with the stuntman with the horse and everything. But there's a book called Go Big or Go Home by Will Hobbs. A meteorite is hurtling towards the Black Hills of South Dakota. Brady Steele watches in awe as a fireball. His name is Brady Steele, the main character.
Wow, what a good, strong name.
Yeah. A fireball comes crashing through the roof of his house. Brady immediately calls up his cousin Quinn. They both love all things extreme, and this is the most extreme thing ever. I did not know what this book was about. It's a picture of a guy making a jump on a bike with a giant road sign that says "Go Big or Go Home," a novel. And I was just like, hell yeah.
What the fuck?
12-year-old me was like, let's do it.
I
Anyway, as it turns out, it's a space rock, and it has a long dormant microbe that infects you and then goes dormant, and then it like wakes up. I don't remember when it wakes up. Maybe it's like when your heart rate goes up or something. And then
When
and
you
then it
do
paralyzes
extreme
you.
stuff.
Yeah,
Oh wait,
possibly.
it paralyzes you.
Well, no, it paralyzes you when it wakes up, and it but it also stops your heart and your breathing, but somehow you're still conscious and awake. I think Will Hobbs had some weird fear of autopsies, because I remember it got really graphic into being awake for your autopsy, as they're like,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it's like, oh, this alien microbe gave them extreme powers.
I think it might
or
have.
whatever.
Ryan.
Yeah. I think it did give you some
But
extreme.
it also fucking paralyzes.
It paralyzes
them
you after a while. Oh, never mind. It's actually the other way around. It infects you, makes you extreme and really cool, but then it goes back to being dormant, and then that makes your body go dormant. That's what it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ryan, I don't know how to tell you this, but this book sounds weirdly formative for you.
Yeah. People hate it. Goodreads.com does not give it a very good review. All the reviews are pretty 2 stars. This book sucked. This review contains spoilers. 2 out of 5.
well, it certainly doesn't sound like it's a good book.
It was weird. Even as a 12-year-old, I was like, what? This is not what I was expecting.
How weird is it that bad guys can't use iPhones in movies anymore?
Well, I mean, I think I remember this being a thing that I like heard that there was rumors of a long time ago, and it's probably not an actual industry secret. But I remember seeing this interview with Ryan Johnson recently, where he kind of like mentions like, oh yeah, we're not allowed to let bad guys have iPhones. It's like a branding thing that Apple does. They're like, oh yeah, sure, you can have your characters use iPhones. I guess the alternative is that they would charge you for having somebody use like a copyrighted iPhone in a movie. They're like, yeah, you can use iPhones, but a bad guy is not allowed to have an iPhone in a movie. They're not allowed to associate iPhones with the villain. I just thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
It's like literally they're just like, yeah, no, you can use this thing that everybody has, but if the fucking bad guy has it, that's just bad branding. So yeah.
So there's a line in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie where James Marsden's character says to another character, I don't have any apps on my phone other than the ones that came pre-installed. And the Olive Garden app, of course, because I just got to take advantage of their unlimited breadsticks.
Those are good.
Weird.
Both of those things are accurate.
Hold on. Did I find it? I think I might have found it.
What is it?
Which one?
Yep. I found it. It's called Stunt Double by Tamsin Cook. This one's actually pretty highly rated. People like this one. It says, Finn is a free-running black belt with a talent for acting, but when his big break arrives, it's not the role he was expecting at all. Recruited as a stunt double, he's pushed to his limits, scaling walls at high speed, jumping from dizzying heights, and diving into rocky waters, all without any safety gear. He's determined to push himself, but as the stunts get more dangerous, the lines between movie and reality are starting to blur, and it becomes clear that he'll be lucky to escape this shoot with his life. That was it.
There's a darker version of what I'm sure this book actually is.
Nope, never mind. This wasn't it.
Aw.
It came out in 2017.
Aw.
So I was not reading that in college. I apologize. Darn it. I thought that was it for sure. It sounds familiar.
And I'm sure what we have coming up in the meme corner,
The memes.
will also be familiar.
I love how I love our little conversation in here.
Yeah, I know. I like how we just had like a little IM chat.
So Lucas, why don't you kick us off there, bud?
What the fuck is Bomboclatt?
Bomboclatt.
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 Bomboclatt?
Blood clot. Bomboclatt
Well-
literally means shitty toilet paper.
Yep.
It's like shit cloth, basically, is the rough translation from what's Jamaican? Padua? No. Yes? Padua, right? So I worked with Jamaican coworkers when I worked as a zipline guide, and yeah, it's a very, very common word. Bomboclatt and blood clot, which is like a pad, like a woman's pad.
Oh.
They're both like the most commonly used obscenities in Patois, and somehow Andrew can explain. It's just now means caption this. You just put a picture and make people caption it. I don't know how that happened.
There's some confusion. There's not really like a set like, oh, like this one guy posted this thing and then somebody captioned it and then it was born. Like there's no real explanation how it happened.
I feel like the explanation for how it happened is that like a white guy accidentally ended up on Jamaican Twitter, saw this, misunderstood what it was, and then transformed it into this.
No, I think it was probably more shitposty.
Alright. Oh no, I wasn't saying that like that stuff was happening intentionally. I'm just like, that's probably how it played out.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
possibly. Quite possibly.
Wait. Know Your Meme has an explanation.
Ooh.
On September 3rd, 2019, Twitter user Rude B-Boy Lamb shared two images of Winslow Thelonious Oddfellow from the series Cat Dog. with the caption Bomboclatt. It received a bunch of likes and retweets, and then people started captioning side-by-side reaction images with Bomboclatt, and then somehow people have taken that to mean that, like, if you post a reaction GIF, you're supposed to, like, put what they're reacting to in there. So, wow,
Culture,
someone's mad about it. There are plenty of Jamaicans that are upset that it is being used because white people think that it just means, like, caption this.
Right. I didn't want to be that guy, but I was going to say, is this like maybe getting into appropriation territory?
I mean, it is a word in a language.
Right.
Like,
it's
yeah.
It's not really being appropriated. It's just posted.
Yeah. I mean, if it was like an actual, like, slur, yeah.
Okay.
But it's literally just a word that basically means toilet paper, but it's more condescending and it's used similar to, like, saying fuck. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like Spanish, like they'll say, like, diablos, which is like devil, but that just means fuck. Like, it's like an expletive. So it's similar to that, is what I found.
All right.
But yeah, I was happy that, like, we talked about it. I think it's a little past its prime. This
A little bit.
Yeah, it's been around for a while. Did you just see this, Lucas? Or has it just been weighing on you and you finally put it in the...
I mean, for me, this was burning just far enough in the background that I was like, is it really worth bringing up? But then this turned out to be a slower news week, so I thought, yeah, now's the time.
Makes sense to me.
I mean, it wasn't really a slow week for the podcast. I mean, we had adultery, we had debates over the merits of sports cheating. We had a whole lot of good shit in there. We had children's books.
We have had a lot of children's books. I still haven't
Just your
found the stunt
basic
double one.
V2 staples. Just your regular voluntary viewing staples.
So the book Stunt Double by Tamsin Cook is really
We keep coming
cock-blocking
back
me. It's really cock-blocking me because I'm not allowed now to look for any books about stunt doubles for young adults. Because Tamsin Cook apparently just has a monopoly now on young adult novels about stunt doubles. So I cannot get past that veil, and the only details I remember is the book opens with him jumping off the Statue of Liberty. So maybe I could type Statue of Liberty in there. And then there's another part where he has a horse that he loves. But if you type in horse with young adult novel, you're not going to get any more shit about stunt doubles. It is going to be all... Oh, wait, I think I found it because of the Statue of Liberty. Time and Again
What?
by Jack Finney.
The Statue of Liberty.
Time and Again, Jack Finney. Hold on. If this is it, I swear to God. No, it's like a time travel book. There's no way. I don't remember any time travel shit.
Speaking of time travel shit, Ranger in Time, Escape from the Twin Towers. You guys see any of this?
What?
No.
So, apparently, there is a series of books called Ranger in Time, which is about a dog, a trained rescue dog, going through time and helping out at different disasters. And it's either the most recent or the upcoming one where he helps out with the 9/11 crisis.
I'm telling you. It's just a matter of time before we get a Pearl Harbor movie with 9/11.
But it's 9/11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as the kids who are reading this book are a big enough part of the movie-going audience, yep, right there. We're seeing the gears turning.
Yeah.
We're seeing the inevitable, not unlike Oprah hitting the ground. What happened?
She didn't get hurt, so, like...
It's yeah.
She was talking about, like, how important balance is, and she immediately, like, face plants.
Just
on
ate
stage
it
in front of everyone, like... And I don't think she was seriously injured. Like, she wasn't, like, running. It didn't look like she got hurt.
She kind of
No, and she didn't even land on her head or anything.
No, she just like
kind of
hit her
fell
hip,
down.
which, you know, like, that can that can hurt a lot, and possibly even break a bone if you're old enough. But like, it's just the literal like, balance is very. Oh, I feel bad. But it's been memed. It's all over everywhere.
It's also like Oprah. Like, if this was going to be a thing, like some random motivational speaker was forever known for, like, that'd be a bit of a bummer, but come on.
No, Oprah's going to get over this.
Yeah.
Oprah will survive.
Yep.
People aren't going to be like, well, I don't want to go to that fucking motivational speech. You know, she fell over that one time. That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know it's Oprah, right?
Yeah.
And that will take us into the breakouts.
Woo.
Hey.
How was The Mandalorian?
I did it for the memes.
Oh wow.
What?
I came for the memes. I stayed for the spaghetti western in space.
What's it like seeing Baby Yoda floss on screen for 22 minutes?
Thank God that doesn't happen, because I may have shot myself. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. It does not feel Star Warsy. You know, I was kind of worried that it was just going to be like, oh, cheesy Star Wars shit in space, and I just kind of still wanted to check it out for the Baby Yoda memes. But it was actually pretty solid.
Lost ya.
This is unfortunate.
Oh no, they can't hear me. They
You
can't
think
hear
I should
me.
edit out
Podcast.
our part here or his part? Okay.
I'm snapping so that. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm snapping so that we can delete this later. So basically, it's just a spaghetti western in space. It's a sci-fi western like TV show. You know, nothing super special about that. It's set in the Star Wars universe, but it doesn't really deal with a whole lot of Star Warsy shit. It kind of reminds me of how Rogue One did not really feel like a Star Wars movie. It just felt like it was a sci-fi war movie. But yeah, it's pretty entertaining. Decent characters, short episodes, nothing crazy. But I enjoyed it. Baby Yoda's very cute. I will admit it. Baby Yoda's cute.
Does watching this show reveal that Emperor Palpatine was actually a clone in the latest movie the whole time?
It didn't, and it also did not reveal that Rey and Kylo Ren making out at the end of the movie was not romantic, which is another Star Wars thing I saw this morning. It's weird.
I mean,
doesn't make sense.
Come on, we're three best friends. Like, we just make out platonically a bunch. People do it.
I saw this morning the emo Kylo Ren Twitter account commented on the article that said, Disney reveals that kiss between Rey and Kylo Ren at end of The Rise of Skywalker was not romantic, and it was like a show of friendship. And Kylo Ren's just like, wow, okay, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dumb. Mandalorian is not dumb. So, I'm not gonna like, you know, fawn all over it and say like, oh yeah, it's a must-watch show, you gotta watch it. But it's pretty entertaining.
I think, are we at a point where Star Wars TV shows have a higher batting average than Star Wars movies?
I mean, the two Star Wars TV shows are The Clone Wars and The Mandalorian, and The Mandalorian's a bona fide hit. And The Clone Wars has like, I don't know, it has its fan base. People really like it.
I mean, there's also Rebels, and then the other Clone Wars.
The old Clone Wars. Rebels is basically just the Clone Wars. From what I've gathered, I do have like two friends that are really into both, and they seem to like it. But so yeah, let's just call that 2 for 2. And the regular Star Wars series is like what, like 3 for 9.
Ooh, I'm gonna be generous and say like 4. Well, are we counting the Christmas special?
No.
Are we counting the first spin-off and then the Han Solo movie?
Sure. So let's call it 4 for 11. Yikes. My childhood has been reevaluated on this podcast very quickly.
Yikes might be a great title for this episode.
Yeah.
Ryan, what are you checking out besides children's books?
Yeah, I'm just really into children's lit right now. No.
It's children's lit.
It's fucking lit, son.
Yo, Inkheart though? Inkheart?
I don't think I'm watching anything other than I guess I just like, so I have active watching and passive watching, as I think a lot of people in America do. They might just not realize it.
Yep.
So like passive watching for me isn't like really watching a show, but I'm passive watching Arrested Development while I do other stuff.
Oh,
like,
back
that's
on
in the
it.
background. Yeah, it's a classic. I recently like started randomly sharing references with my coworker who's also like a big fan, and I was like, why don't I just rewatch that passively in the background? But yeah, otherwise still trying to crank through Mr. Robot. The going's been slow, even though I've really enjoyed this season. I don't know, it just feels like a commitment. So well, hopefully I'm through it soon and I can move on, because man, it's really weighing on me. So that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah, we're still kind of in the dog days of winter right now, where there's not like a ton of like groundbreaking media coming out. So I'm still kind of plugging back through Dragon Quest XI, and I might have mentioned this on a previous episode, but yeah, that just turn-based JRPG formula, I've found really helps.
Really gets in my veins, you know?
Yeah, just fucking mainline it, man. Give me that like every 15 to 20 minute dopamine hit. Really get me through seasonal depression.
Yeah.
It's fun. I don't know. I just got through a part where you fight a cursed painting, and I've come to realize that's a weird trope that I like for some reason in media.
Sure.
That's about all I got. And that'll take us. Oh.
I was gonna say, other than like The Mandalorian, the only thing that I've been really doing on my own recently is still playing The Witcher and keeping up with the Combine and the draft process. And free agency.
When we get the PS5, me and Andrew are gonna rock some Madden. We're gonna do an online dynasty.
We are.
We're gonna go hard.
It's gonna be, yeah. I'm going to manage. I'm gonna be the GM of Ryan's team. He's got the sticks and I've got the roster.
No.
Well, oh wait, wasn't that the deal?
No.
Wasn't that the deal? Oh.
Well, it's just gonna play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can manage your team and I'll manage mine.
Oh.
And I'm gonna go for cheese.
Yeah. That's the thing, is that no matter how good my roster is, I'm just not good at playing Madden.
Well, you don't have to play. You could simulate if you wanted to. Just like you can play it like a manager mode, you know? Just like beating.
I mean, I still enjoy playing it. It's fun. I'm just not good at it.
No, fair enough. It'll be fun.
But I will not get into following the Combine and stuff, because even though we talk about sci-fi and anime and shit on this podcast, I'll sound like much more of a nerd.
Andrew, you should work for a football team.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I've always thought about that too.
I realized recently that like probably the job that my brain, not necessarily like if I'm good at it or not, but like the job that my brain is tailor-made for is like a sports executive, you know, not actual high stakes that affect, you know, like the world or anything, but still like that, you know, problem solving and all that kind of shit. And I did not realize that I actually liked football until I was in high school. So
yeah,
way too late to actually get into it.
And you didn't like fantasy football until we dragged you into the league, and I feel like that's the way that you've gotten into the depths the deep, dark, scary depths of football.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh man, it's fun.
It's really fun.
if you did want to get into football administration, I'm pretty sure now's the time with the XFL on the rise.
Oh, dude, I could be an XFL GM.
Jesus. It's that
You
easy.
want to know what's extreme? Hiring a 24-year-old with no football experience to run your team. Yeah. Extreme.
I am younger than half of your players.
At least.
Yeah.
And that'll bring us right on into the group chat.
Did you really mess up what game we were playing, Andrew?
Yeah, I did. I had a Freudian slip, and I wrote Half-Life, because I remember typing it out, and I wrote Half-Life 2, and then I went, oh, wait, I fucked up.
Well,
We played Portal, and then I deleted it, and then I must have still written Half-Life 2 one more time.
I thought that there was a new Half-Life...
I didn't notice it until now.
I thought there was a new Half-Life 2, co-op mode that we could try out. Nope.
Well, there
is
there are mods.
There's
They're
mods, but
yeah.
I think they're kind of iffy. Or not. I don't know. It's cheap. We could fuck around with it. But yeah, me and Andrew recently finished the Portal 2 co-op, which was very fun.
yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I finally got a hang of that game
Yeah.
and finally got good at it with 2 levels left.
You were solving some puzzles at the end there.
I was thinking with Portals,
Yep.
but
now you can play the
way
single
too
player
late.
game. You need to.
I can, yeah.
Now. And you'd
Okay.
be so good at it, because you've already been introduced to most of the concepts there. It wouldn't be frustrating, and you just get to enjoy the characters and the world building, which is the golden part of the game. But I will say that one of those final co-op puzzles that we solved has been my favorite puzzle that I can remember from either of the single player campaigns or co-op. It was a blast.
Is that the one where we were singing, "This is ground control to Major Tom"?
You've
It got
really
weird.
made
It got
the
weird.
grade.
Yeah, we had to launch ourselves and shoot turrets with cubes in midair, and it was crazy. But it took us a long time to figure it out, so I think that's why it became so satisfying when we finally started launching ourselves and singing the song. So, pretty good.
Very cool. Did you guys see the Candyman trailer?
Nope.
No, what?
It's the new Jordan Peele movie.
He's executive producer. I forget the name of the director, but he is not directing this movie.
He's not?
Oh, wow.
I thought he was.
Yeah.
Not directing or writing?
I don't believe so. I'm not sure if he has a writer credit.
Yikes. Yeah.
I don't know if that's really a yikes.
It's kind of a yikes. And also, I don't know Jordan Peele's name.
Directed
Carry that much
by
credence, no?
Nia DaCosta. Produced by... Oh, nope. Screenplay by Jordan Peele.
No, there you go.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So it's an adapted screenplay because it's a reboot. But
Did you guys see the original?
no.
I know people said the original was scary.
It sure looks scary.
No? And then South Park kind of ruined that urban legend gimmick.
Yeah. Biggie Smalls. Biggie Smalls.
Small.
Biggie Small. What the fuck? Just shooting his pistol everywhere. Oh, that's classic.
Ryan, any more luck unearthing childhood books?
So if you guys went to a certain subreddit called YA Lit, you may or may not see a post from someone begging for some help in finding this book.
Wait, Ryan, did you?
It's currently the number 2 post on the subreddit, so someone might have uploaded it a little.
Is that an alt account, or is that the same
no,
one that's going to be
that's the
promoting this
main-
podcast?
That's the main
Okay.
account.
Well
Yeah.
then.
I also lied and said it was for my nephew because I wanted some urgency. You guys don't. You guys don't know anything about Reddit. Like this is how you get things done. This is how, can you guys upvote it, please? If I upvote, it'll be vote brigading, which is against the Reddit rules, and you can get shadow banned.
I mean, I don't have an account.
I think you can upvote without an account.
No, I'm trying. I need to put in an email.
Damn. You should have a Reddit account anyway. Like
Reddit, young adult books, YA lit.
I don't have enough time for Reddit.
Okay. Reddit fills in the gaps.
Wow.
That's like the whole point.
That and Twitter, man.
Yeah, but Twitter's a cesspool of depression and anxiety.
Yeah, Reddit can be whatever you want it to be. Reddit can be the most wholesome website that you would ever see, or the most depraved website that you'll ever see. It's literally up to you. And up to your accounts.
Boy, you are really leaning into like Midwestern uncle with this post.
Yeah.
I'm starting to suspect that you don't even have a nephew.
Okay, so Midwestern uncle is... I mean, I went to middle school. I put the actual years so that it would help people know that, like, oh, if a book came out in 2013, like, it didn't apply. But, yeah, I'm a pretty young uncle in this scenario. Especially, like, to look for a book for, like, someone who's assumedly, like, 10 years old at least.
A yunkle, if you will.
A yunkle. And I even put in I can't find anything on Google because of the novel Stunt Double 2017. Just to be like, it's not that one. I know that's what comes up when you Google. Because I know some smartass would put in the let me Google that for you link. Which happens a lot, which is pretty cold when people do it. But I made sure to be like, I tried Google. It's not helping. I don't know what the next step is. Go to a middle school and talk to a librarian.
Yes, hello. I am a 24-year-old man coming here to get some reading advice.
No.
No, I'm not a maniac.
I'd probably have the same cover story. Hey, so I have like a young family member who's really into stuntmen and stunt doubles.
Really into stuntmen.
Yeah, he just learned about the concept of like stunt performers, and there was this book I remember reading, and I don't know.
I feel like you go to
this world.
I feel like you go to a public library before you're like on a school premises.
I feel like a public librarian would have no fucking idea. Like,
oh man,
they don't care about young adult novels. Come on now.
They might be able to hook you up.
I kind of doubt it. Maybe there might be like a hotline I can call, like a librarian hotline. There was one at EW, I remember.
I don't feel like librarians' jobs are just to know all of the books.
Yeah, but they might have access to some sort of software and better knowledge on how to work the system. I'm literally just Googling, and Google can be really, really unhelpful in specific situations.
Yep.
Where it's so bogged down by one result that you can't find anything else.
Did you mean Seabiscuit?
Yeah. Exactly. Except for in this case, there's apparently another book written with a very similar premise that came out more recently. So it's basically all over Google. And this book that I read might have come out in like 1980. Like I didn't know what time was when I was in middle school.
That's a
modern,
good
point. And or maybe there was like a re-release, so it had a brand new cover and it looked modern, but it wasn't. And like you never know. I thought it was Alex Rider. I'm just going to make sure one more time that it was not Alex Rider. Because what if it was?
I do not remember any sort of stunt double acting horse dying scene in Alex Rider.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Didn't Alex Rider, like, beat up a bunch of terrorists at Wimbledon?
I think he exposed... They weren't terrorists. They were like cheating.
Yes, they were drugging people.
They were drugging the athletes to make them perform worse, and then they were like betting on the non-drugged athleets or some shit.
Andrew, is that worse or better than what the Astros did?
I knew it was coming. If it turned out that the Astros were poisoning the water supply of the like opposing team's locker room to make them like delirious, yes, that would be worse than what the Astros actually did. Weirdly enough, that is what I thought about when I like heard of like every time the Packers went to California and just kind of like weren't in it this season. I kept thinking like, oh, I wonder if the 49ers put that weird Alex Rider serum in their water bottles.
I mean, you're not wrong in that the Packers were poisoned, but it was of their own volition, self-ingested, and legal poison.
Legal,
I see what you did there.
Legal poison. Yeah, I don't think it
Ooh.
was Alex Rider.
It's going in a band name list.
Legal poison.
Legal poison,
Legal poison.
yeah.
I guarantee that's already a thing.
Oh,
I don't know
hold
how,
on.
I don't know
Okay,
if that's a band name. Someone upvoted, or was that you, Lucas?
that was me.
Darn it. Well, not darn it, because I mean, the top posts on that subreddit have like 10 upvotes, so 2 is already two upvotes in 10 minutes is a hot topic.
Oh, I googled legal poison and it's just a bunch of like how to buy fucking poison on the internet.
Yeah, Andrew, you better not kill anyone.
Andrew, you might want to
That Google search is going to be there forever, man.
delete your browser history, maybe give your hard drive a scrub down. I did the legal poison band, and that top result is Poison American Band, and I realize now that's
Yeah.
probably going to be some
Yeah.
litigation if we move forward on this project.
But that's the same problem. Like, you're never going to find a band named Legal Poison because there's a band called Poison that's way more popular. So it kind of covers the results that you actually want. So,
I'm kind of
Google's
thinking,
great, but it's not perfect.
Google, give us money.
You could put quotes around it, and that might help. Legal Poison band quote. Nope. Oh. There's weird phone numbers. I don't like that.
You guys are going too deep.
Yeah, no, this is deep in the internet. There's two things, and the URLs are just IP addresses, and they're talking, and they have phone numbers. I don't like that.
All right, that about wraps up the podcast.
That wraps up episode 86 of the fuck, I lost it.
Oh, what podcast
you
is
can't
it,
even-
Andrew? Lucas,
can't-
there's so many.
You can't even remember the name of your own podcast. You've been whoring around with all these other podcasts. You can't even keep their names straight.
Podcast whore is also up there for a title now. But no, this has been episode 86 of the Voluntary Viewing podcast. If you enjoyed it, please remember to like this episode, subscribe for more, leave a comment, leave a rating, all the good stuff depending on what platform you are listening to it on. Also, if you have any questions you'd like us to answer or business or partnership opportunities, you can reach out to us through our email, voluntaryviewing@gmail.com. Also follow us on Twitter for updates at V2_podcast. Be sure to check us out on Patreon if you are able to support us monetarily and join the terrific likes of sensual Richard Nixon and the terrific Sucky Badger. Also, hi, I'm Lucas. I have a Twitter account. There's some good stuff on there, including like stuff I write, and you should totally check that out too, you know? I'd appreciate it.
You want to know, I know we're wrapping up, and this could explode. So this is just going to be a one-off, and I'm not going to make any commentary on it. But a Cincinnati Reds pitcher...
Dude, I was gonna wait till the podcast was done.
Nope.
Don't.
I was literally just reading it.
He was
Nobody touched the pause.
intentionally tipping off pitches to the batters because he was pissed off about sign stealing. Basically as like an FU, try to hit me, even if you know the pitch.
Oh, wait, I heard about this. Yeah.
So, not going to make any commentary.
It's a baller move.
I mean, he's not gonna do it during the regular season, but it's still pretty funny.
Ooh. Okay, you know what? That
Or
might...
maybe he will. Maybe he will, and it's just a huge mindfuck.
That might be a new segment in future episodes. Baller move of the week.
What if he does it during the regular season and it like works, and he's like still a good pitcher, and then the Astros user like, see, even the batter knows what's coming. It doesn't affect the game, so technically we didn't even cheat.
I mean, it would at the very least lend some credence to my argument that it's maybe not as insanely advantageous as people might think, but yeah.
And if it works, then sure, I will admit that I am wrong.
I mean, it worked in this game. The batter...
it was spring training.
Yeah, but the batter knew what was coming, and guess what happened? He grounded out. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man.
What if
they were a very, very good baseball team that had a pretty significant advantage, as many teams have in the past, and there's nothing that we can do. I thought one of my favorite ideas was to ban them from postseason play for a year or two.
Ooh.
Because I don't like the idea that you can just awkwardly rewrite the past. So what if you basically prevent them from winning some future shit? That'd be fun. Or taking away draft picks so that it limits their future. Like,
it's also
things to hurt them in the future. But to me, a past punishment just seems insane.
Sure. That is also fair, but they didn't do that.
I mean,
no, I'm not saying the MLB did it correctly. But I'm just saying so many people are calling for the World Series to be removed. And I'm just like, well, it just doesn't really work like that. Like, you can't really do it. And if you did, it would just make the whole concept kind of It's already going to have a huge asterisk forever and ever.
Right. And I guess I haven't totally explored my feelings on that. But I do kind of like the idea of removing them from postseason play, if only because that seems like a repercussion that wouldn't hurt the athletes super hard.
Like the competitive ones. That's why I'd only want it to be like a year, maybe two. Because players play to try to win.
That's fair. I also found this out recently, though, that I think most athletes' contracts don't like have any kind of stipulation for postseason play.
Some of them do, but they should just have to pay them.
Yeah.
Pay them all their bonuses. Like, that should be part of the punishment. Pay your players more as well. You know, if they win the World Series this year, you realize how pissed off everyone's going to be.
Right.
Because, I mean, they are still a really good baseball team.
Yeah.
On top of everything else.
All right, we gotta compose a dream baseball team to take them on. Let's get a couple of angels. A dog,
Shoeless Joe Jackson,
and then Shoeless Joe Jackson,
Barry Bonds,
farmer in the middle of Iowa,
the Bash Brothers, but not the real Bash Brothers, the Lonely Island Bash Brothers.
Yes. No, okay, it's coming together. Are we up to 9 yet? I think we're close.
That kid from Chicago that like pitched as like a middle schooler or whatever.
Oh yeah. Or the kid from what was it called? Was it the rookie? No, the 100. Fuck. He could all of a sudden throw like 100 miles an hour because he broke his arm.
Yeah.
What's that from? Is it Rookie of the Year? I think it's Rookie of the Year. Get that kid. He could be the pitcher.
I think that's the movie that I'm talking about.
Broken arm baseball movie. Rookie of the Year. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but there was a real. I think like a 15-year-old pitch. But yeah, no.
No. I was talking about the movie.
Yeah. There you go. We'll get him as the pitcher. Although, by the way, like, I mean, if it's really just 100 miles an hour and that's the only pitch he could throw, he wouldn't be that good.
No.
100 miles an hour is fast, but it's not so overwhelmingly fast that no one could hit it. Like, especially if you don't have any off-speed pitches to offset it.
You gotta lean into the cliche, though. Like, you gotta build him up, you know, like, he's got the fastball, but then when his, like, arm breaks again and heals the right way, you just goad a player into totally overswinging.
Also, it was the early 90s. They had never seen anything that fast before.
The steroid era hadn't yet reached its full bloom.
Hey, you want to know who was in Rookie of the Year, the movie?
Oh, boy.
Barry Bonds as himself.
Hey.
Oh, boy.
I wonder what he looked like. Barry Bonds, Rookie of the Year. What year was this released? 1993, so I think he was still skinny boy Barry Bonds.
Not fucking RoboCop or whatever.
Not like the Bill Burr joke where, what's it called? Like, you just want a human pec muscle up there that only cranks homers. Like, Not even a person anymore. Yeah, no,
Oh,
he
dude,
is
Bill Burr
thin.
was in the fucking Mandalorian.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I heard about
I
that.
mean,
Yeah.
he's an actor. Like he makes the rounds.
No, I know. It's just, it was so weird to see him up there without him going like, fuck! Fuck!
He strikes out Barry Bonds, and Barry Bonds looks very upset, but not really upset. More like, whoa, that was fast. Like with really shitty acting. I could send you guys the GIF. Oh wait, that's not the GIF. That's the open image and new tab. Here we go. This is the GIF. All right, that's in the messages.
Imger.
Good old Imger links. Good God.
Staple of the
Wow.
internet.
That is just a regular looking human being.
Yep. Even a skinny looking human being.
Yeah.
And then there's
I mean-
this one.
This guy can't do steroids. Look at him.
Obviously a professional athlete, but also, yep.
And then here's the comparison. I just sent that in the messages.
No, I don't want to look at it.
Oh, it's a small
I don't
one.
want to. I thought you meant like you were gonna show me the like today Barry Bonds.
No. Just the side by side of skinny boy Barry Bonds and thick boy Barry Bonds.
Oh, man, how
How
much of that? No, how much of that do you think
how?
was coerced?
Coerced? None.
You think he was like super on board for it?
Yes.
Okay.
Dude, people fucking love steroids. Are you kidding me?
Steroids are kind of the best if you're a pro athlete. Like,
Yeah.
can you imagine?
Even if you're not. Even if you're
Yeah.
just like fucking us.
Sure. But could you imagine if you were like in a field of the greatest intellectuals on planet Earth, and then there was a way to make yourself like 25 to 40% smarter? Like, that would be the greatest thing of all time, and everyone would do it.
Just round up the IQ points to the next 100. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it would be great. There's a reason that it was so popular, and probably still is relatively popular. So,
Winners don't do drugs, kids.
yeah. Winners sometimes do drugs.
He won.
That being said, if you are medically prescribed drugs, probably take them.
Some poor kid with his ADHD medicine is like, meh, Lucas DeRuyter said don't do drugs. Flushes him down the toilet and all of a sudden can't focus in school. Thanks, Lucas.
Or like the kid was just smarter than everybody else, so he wasn't behaving, so they gave him Ritalin, and that
Jesus.
If you are prescribed drugs that you actually need, take
He
them.
wasn't behaving, and then they put him in sports, and he wasn't doing well enough, so they put him on steroids so that he could finally succeed and be good at something.
I feel like that story that you told is this like strippers stripping so that they can pay for their college type of tall tale. Like, it's like, yeah, we like to think that that's like what actually happens, or I guess in this case you don't like to think that, but I don't know. I think paid medical professionals generally are pretty decent at it. Maybe nowadays. I don't know. Maybe in the past it was worse.
That's. I'm pretty sure they have steroids down to a science now. Yeah.
Oh, I was talking about Ritalin more.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like just the general story of like, oh, this kid was just smart. He didn't have any disorder. And it's like, oh, yeah.
Sure.
It's a way to put it.
I do wonder how much of like kids are over medicated nowadays is kind of like a just scare thing that older people have.
It's something that a lot of people have a lot of motivation to believe.
Yeah.
And so I'm relatively skeptical, and I have a lot of faith in medical professionals. So,
Hey, parents, address your child's mental health needs.
And physical health needs.
Yep.
And emotional health needs.
As long as you're not vaccinating them. Remember, never vaccinate your kids.
The more you know. Like,
Hey, it'll
the
be
fucking
fine, guys.
PSA.
Spay and neuter your pets. Don't
Yeah.
vaccinate your kids.
Hi. Oh, fuck. Who's a good actor? Oh, hi.
Matt Damon.
No, that wasn't a good one. Hi.
Oh.
I'm Henry Winkler.
Yeah?
Just remember, don't vaccinate your kids. Like, just like, a really kind, like, there's like a fire raging, he's just like really gentle and nice. Hey,
Ooh.
just a quick reminder. You don't want your kids to be autistic, right?
Ryan, you are pitching a scene from season 3 of Barry right now.
Oh, God.
You wouldn't want to cut down your carbon emissions, would you? That'll put the coal miners out of business.
Boy, poor Henry Winkler. He's getting roped into a lot of shady shit right now.
He's really desperate.
A lot of special interest groups. Hi. Untoward regulation in the ISP industry is causing a lot of turmoil. Vote no on net neutrality.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. Remember, when the government comes for your guns, are you going to be prepared?
To kill them? Yeah. To kill the government?
Oh, I saw some fucking shit on Facebook today.
Oh, no.
It was like what I will just call a fan fiction and not the raving rant of someone who's clearly disturbed and paranoid. It was a detailed, like, it was basically an Imagine. Like, you know how there's, like, Imagines for, like, teenage girls to think about meeting Justin Bieber and shit?
No.
It was...
I literally don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
And Imagine is a thing where it's just like, imagine you're at the grocery store and Harry Styles is next to you. He asks you what kind of cereal you would recommend. And from the moment you... like, I'm just ad-libbing here.
This is some Tumblr-esque bullshit, and you are nailing it right now. Yeah.
Kodiko did a video on him a while back, and it was very funny.
Did you steal it, or was that yours?
No, that was mine.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want more of meeting Harry Styles in the grocery store. That's next episode.
Next episode.
We need chapter 2.
But it was basically like, imagine you're at home and like basically like a full paragraph of like describing how you put your kids to bed and it's hot outside and like blah blah blah. You go to bed and at 2 a.m. rolls around, you hear a noise. Your wife grabs her pistol and you grab your fucking 12 gauge. And you hear someone on the other side of the door, and you blast through it, and a guy falls down. And,
oh,
no!
I feel like that could be your kid. Like,
no, in this scenario, it was the fucking SWAT team who snuck into your house to steal your guns because of red flag laws, and someone in town saw you carrying your AR-15, and just because you were a conservative and had your Trump hat on, they assumed you were a domestic racist terrorist. And they sent the SWAT team to ninja into your house, and then you get ripped apart by 5.56 bullets.
You would deserve it.
Yes, exactly. I almost commented, yeah, but you fucking deserve it.
You killed someone through a door. That is far more likely to be your kid or anyone that you know than a stranger. Like, you just shot blindly through a door and killed someone.
And then also, like... the explanation of why this happened was red flag laws because someone reported you to the police for doing shit that absolutely should get you arrested.
Open carry laws are a weird gray area in American politics. Let's just put it that way.
But this was them advocating against red flag laws because they said it would be a tool by the liberal elite government to murder conservatives. Literally, like the later part of this weird. Plot line is that it was basically just a targeted assassination attempt because you have guns and are conservative
they
and
knew
they're
that
trying
you were
to wipe
kill
you
the
out.
SWAT officer.
No, it's just they were just trying to kill him anyway.
Oh, they were going to kill him anyway.
Yes. And it was because it was red flag laws would basically just mean that anybody who the liberal QAnon government didn't like, they would report for red flag laws.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, the person who made this post feels like they would be justified in shooting police officers.
Yes, Lucas, yes. Like anybody who's like, we need guns to protect ourselves against the government would instantly be okay killing cops and soldiers. They've talked about it.
But
I've seen people say this shit.
But then they support these groups of people and that entire institution so long as they're not coming after them.
It's almost like it doesn't make any fucking sense.
It works a little bit in the reverse too, though. Like
Sure.
a lot of the same people who are very questioning of the police are also very in support of gun control and like removing guns off the street. So yeah, it does cut both ways a little bit. I'm willing to throw that one out there. So
Yes, but I will also say that the person that posted this has a lot of Blue Lives Matter shit.
Sure. Well, no,
Yeah.
but then like,
except for that
like
post.
I said,
Yeah.
yeah. People like to think of, I'm imagining in this rogue government scenario that they're basically like Hydra in the Avengers movie, where it's not the real government, it's like a insurgency within the government that's coming to kill you.
These aren't real cops.
You're not
These
killing
are
real
just-
cops.
They're just Democrats.
Or demon rats, as they're likely to refer to them
Oh my
as.
god.
Fuck. Okay, I think we gotta stop.
I think we said goodbye a long time ago. Maybe we should cut it there.
Thanks for listening. If we hadn't made it clear already, vote blue 2020. Thanks. Bye.